What's up, guys? This is Scott with KC Blade Drip. Thanks for tuning tuning in to watch another knife video. Got an unboxing. Now, the funny story of this is I actually opened this straight from the mail today and was doing a unboxing of this particular knife. As you see, the Caiman XL, and this is from Off Grid Knives. And I had gotten into it, and then I started having camera problems and all kinds of stuff, and I stumbled and yeed and hawed and all this other stuff, and I was like, you know what, we just need to reboot. Here we are, we rebooted, guys. Oh, thank God. All right. So here we go. We have it's an unboxing. This is my first impressions of the knife. And we're gonna go ahead. Every knife has a story. This is the beginning of this particular knife. This particular story. Home of the 150% guarantee, where 100% of the time I'm over 50% right. That is correct. It's a beautiful day. It's Thursday, May 19th, 2022. I don't know, maybe I'll load this video tomorrow on Friday. I'm not quite sure. But let's get going. Hey, if you're on Instagram, KC Blade Drip is me. I do photography. It's amateur. If you like that kind of thing, take a peek. And then here we go. Caiman XL. This is the box that it came in. Okay, and it's actually a pretty decent box. You open it up, we have a little brochure here. We have a little sticker thing here that says Off Grid Knives. And then we've got the knife in the package here. It's a big boy. That's a big boy. That's a big bitch. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's one big bitch. All right, so there we go with that. Now, I did have my experience with Off Grid, just to kind of give you a little bit of my story and this particular knife. I got an Off Grid Knives probably about a year ago. I think searching online for a good fixed blade daily or EDC everyday carry fixed blade, and it popped up, and the knife I actually found online, this kind of lists all their different knives here, was actually this one right here. And is it the Tracker? Is that the name of this one? Anyways, the handle is beautiful. The knife is beautiful. I bought this knife. I used it, carried it, loved it. And I'm going to set this to the side. And I ended up giving it to my nephew, who to this day still carries that knife and sends me pictures all the time with him working and having the knife laying around. So it's gotten good use. Now, a few months ago, I had seen, I don't know if it's rebooted or coming out with just new stuff, or I'd seen a lot of off-grid knives kind of in different advertisements, Instagram, different people. And so when this one I saw advertised, I bought it, jumped on it. It was only 80 bucks. And I say that because in today's game, $80 really isn't that much money on a knife, okay? I mean, it's not going to be one of the El Cheapos, but it's not, nearly anything that is going to be super expensive on your wallet. So I saw this, and for me, a lot about knives and what attracts me to them, I'm just not buying knives to talk about them, or I have to like them aesthetically first. It's kind of like a girl, you see them, and the first thing that you're going to do is, am I attracted to them? I mean, it's just natural, right? Or I guess a guy or a person you may look at and you say physically, are they attractive to me? But so this knife, I thought, hey, it is attractive. I loved the profile. I love the way it looks, the shape of the knife. Now, the company and the guy who owns, I believe, and designs a lot of these, he did a lot of surfing and outdoorsy type stuff down in Honduras, some of the South American countries. And in doing so, I think he kind of got the idea to come up with a knife or a knife profile named after the Caiman, which is a type of alligator. So he had the Caiman. I don't know how long it was, but this is the Caiman XL, which is a bigger version, almost identical to my understanding to the original Caiman. As you can see, the top of this profile basically looks like a Caiman alligator. The long snout, the peak apex on the head, kind of the body, and the little arms right here. No, but it does. It looks like a Caiman. So I think that the company, and I don't remember the guy's name, I feel bad, but I wing my stuff, guys. I'm not in school anymore. I'm not going to take notes for a hobby and something I enjoy. So I just talk to you, kind of freestyle it. But Donnie B all day had an off-grid knife that he did in the video. All day, all night. I like that guy. And then also Scabber, I think, was carrying and talking about a knife that was a fixed blade from Off-Grid Knives, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, so a lot of people use these. They're known, at least in my book, as being a hard work knife. Very durable, hard use knife. So that was a little bit of my limited knowledge and amateur, as I should say, know-how on the company, kind of, and where the name came from for this particular knife, the Caiman XL, and then kind of how I became familiar, or what I've seen recently that sparked me into buying this knife. Good price point, 80 bucks. I can't beat that, especially for a knife that I'm going to want a hard use. I'll take this thing outside, and damn it, if I was near a jungle or I was in the outback and I was a scabber, I'd be chopping stuff with this immediately. And I am going to use this. And I'm not going to be afraid, because this won't ever be put in a safe and collected. I get this because I'm going to actually chop and use this on some stuff. It's a big burly bitch, all right? So looking at this, first thing I'd like to do, since I'm talking about, hey, size, let's go ahead and just measure it real quick. And with that, you guys know I like to show you so you can kind of look at it and get an idea. The camera can make stuff look bigger. We all should know about that. So I try to actually give you a real-time measurement so you can see. This is right about, you see where the 4 inches is at here? So we're looking at the total blade is about 4 inches, maybe a little bit shy. Okay, for the cutting area here. The handle, we're looking at about 5 1/8, maybe 5 1/4 right here. So that's pretty big, man. That's pretty good size. That's what she said from the peanut gallery. I hear you. All right, now let's go on the weight here. For being as big as it is, it doesn't feel heavy in my hand. It really doesn't. 6.7. Spot on with a nice weight, guys. That's in the wheelhouse for this bad boy because it's a large knife. So to get something with this blade size and geometry and everything at that weight, that's nice. The blade itself, let's take a look here. It's stamped on here. This is going to be Sandvik steel. It's 14C28N. Let's wipe this off. I got some, want to make sure that we're always wiping these down. So that's the steel. I don't know a lot about that steel. To my understanding, it is a type of pretty damn good, like a tool steel, or very durable. Again, I'm not exactly sure too much about that specific steel. There's the logo for you, off-grid. Okay, I love the profile. It's a Bowie. I don't know, is it Bowie or Bowie? But it kind of got a nice swedge up here at the top. How it dips down, almost to like a spear point. But I just love the grind on here. Got kind of a, so almost like a little bit of a hollow grind into a plain edge. No serrations here. Thin profile. Very good at stabbing, using that tip to guide into as you puncture, and then doing all kinds of, whether it's a push cut. Look at that. Putting my thumb right up here where there's some nice, non-aggressive, but some good traction on jimping. Allows you to get up there and do those push cuts like this. Shaving thing, the wood. Skinning. Also, you have some control on that tip so that you can do detailed type poking or carving if you, as you need to. Not to abuse, but for use on that tip. So this is one of my favorite blade styles. And I like that it's thin. It also cuts down the weight a little bit, jumping up on the top of your blade. Gives you good control, good thumb traction. The blade itself, it's going to be a DLC, like a blackwash is what it looks like, a blackwash finish on here. Very pretty. I don't mind that. Some guys will tell you they don't like their blades colored at all, but this will protect it. I think with that type of steel that they're using, a lot of blades they use some type of a coating so that it'll help with the oxidization, like the rusting or, you know, potential for that. So I like that. Very good. And it's a big blade. It's a really big blade. Moving on to the handle here. We've got G10 lusciousness here. You see the texturing. Little almost tiny holes, like indentations here and texturing on the handle. G10. Very nice. Helps it to stay light. We've got the steel lining on the inside of each one of these scales. That's going to help you, well, it gives it a little weight, but it gives it strength since this is a liner lock, and we can see that lockup right here. Now, this is kind of a thin liner. I tend to myself like frame locks a little better because they tend to be thicker, more bullish. But as that locks up, you can see how we have the liner, and this is steel, and then we have steel all the way around. Let's take a look inside this puppy. All right, you see what I see right there? Yep. We have some holes and looks like a little milling. They've really tried to drop the weight down on this. And that's how you do it on the inside of these steel liners. On the inside is, there's some holes and stuff on the inside to help cut that down with the weight, or else this thing would be a lot heavier. But so you've got that. Great lockup, nice and sturdy. Again, this sucker, you'd think that you had a fixed blade in your hand. If you go to use this, at least from the feel, it's nice. It's not wiggling or going anywhere. What we got on the centering here, guys? You like to look that up? Right on key. That's nice, right there. Okay. Nice fluid action. This thing is running on ceramic bearings. So you've got ball bearing flipper here. Nice and smooth like you'd expect. No problem with the flipping action. Got no jimping on the flipper. So that's smooth. But it's large enough and it's positioned well enough that we're flipping this with ease. So the action, nice and smooth. Nice click into place and lockup. Beautiful. Beautiful. So that's good. Let's talk about the handle since we've kind of gone over, you know, G10 and the way it feels. You've got traction on here. It's able to fit a glove if I even had gloves on, which I like about a lot of the off-grid knives. The thing I found is with their tankish builds, you can get a glove on it. So when you're working out, you're going to be able to not have a problem keeping a grip and securing it. This traction on here is just enough. It feels good. Let's look at the hand here. Large glove. You're going to lock into the choil. Let's wrap Let's wrap this. Look at that. So I've got plenty of ample room to position my hand on this. And it's thick enough in this area that I have a good grip. I do not feel like I would fatigue on this. I really don't. In fact, it gives my hand some girth in it. Girth, it's one of those words, isn't it? Kind of like moist. People tend to cringe at. I don't. It describes it well. So this little area right here, the bump goes up. As I lock in and my finger goes in here to this area, it gives me a nice, good hold on the knife. Let's try reverse. You got your jimping up here along the back side. I can place my thumb on the top. I can have blade control from this point. I have enough jimping that it's going to give me traction and not hurt my finger at all. It gives me just pure traction. All my fingers fall into place. I have great feel of this knife in my hand. Great control. Yeah, I like that. So that's good, the reverse. So with for being a larger knife, now if you have a smaller hand, it may be a little bit, your experience may be a little different in holding and maneuvering the knife if you have a smaller hand. Again, this is from my experience and what it feels like in my hand. The blade feels super sharp too. I mean, it actually, yeah, it's, sorry for the little bit of the dry skin, guys, but that's just going, and my arm doesn't have much hair on it, but that was showing you that I just cut some damn hair because it's that sharp, it's hair popping. Okay, so the handle feels good, looks good. Aesthetically, I love black knives as well. The clip, let's move on to that. It's for tip up carry. This is for right hand. You can do a left hand, it looks like, but it is only tip up. I love this clip as far as the design. The lip on this looks like it's going to be easy on your pants. You got a nice deep ride on this. Look at that. So when you go into the pants pocket, this whole bad boy right here is going to disappear in your pocket. So even though this is a big mambo jumbo, this thing, when you drop it in, it's going to, it's going to just disappear, which I like. The clip, as well as a knife, this has minimal branding. You got a tiny little emblem here, and that's it. These are a pretty common style clip that a lot of companies use now. As far as design goes, I think the ProTech I was just using had the same style of clip on it. You've got a back spacer here. More of a flow-through design, as you can see, minus this back spacer that's right in here. Nice jimping on the back, so even when you're gripping, this is going to aid you. There is no other jimping underneath or around the finger flipper here. So that's kind of the clip. No, don't see any lanyard hole possibility. So for you lanyard guys, it's time to cry in your Wheaties, boys. There's no option for a lanyard on this. Ergonomically, looks great. I think it's a beautiful looking knife. 80 bucks all day, all night. I'll take this thing out back. I'll go camping with it. I'll go on bivouac, rain or shine. I'll have that with me. Fit and finish looks great. Now again, I haven't put this thing to use, but I have all confidence in this particular knife. Off grid, you're knocking it out of the ballpark. You're stepping up to the plate. You're really jacking it out. Appreciate it. Guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time to watch. All my subscribers. I mean, you guys are awesome. You're special people. And I'll be doing more unboxings, more reviews in the future. If you like this type of content, you can hit like. You can even subscribe. If you hate my content, hey, you can still subscribe. You don't have to watch me, and I won't tell anybody. But we always like to have somebody subscribe. If you have questions, comments, put it down. I love all the engagement. Let me know if you've heard or used this particular brand or type of knife, what you think of the style. If you have any advice of that nature, etc., etc. So, all right, guys, stay sharp. I'm out.